Well, good afternoon, everyone. Rocky's asleep under my wagon over there. I don't know if you'll be able to see him or not, but he's over there asleep. He's on his back there, fast asleep. He seems to be feeling a lot better, and that's good. I'm glad of that. Um, yeah. Well, again, I'm going to talk about some stuff here. I'm on a roll right now. I might as well see if I can get myself into trouble. You know, I haven't been in any serious trouble in a while, so yeah. Anyway, there's some things that I'm seeing in society now that are troubling. I mean, look, there's all this pressure to conform to this and conform to that, and oh, you have to believe in this and you have to believe in that, and you can't believe in the other thing or you're a bad person. And now it's at the point where people are saying if you don't believe in this or that, you're not fit to live, even. Or if you do believe in this or that, you're not fit to live. I've had people tell me during that whole, well, you know what it was, the whole big thing there where they were wanting us to stick things up our noses and stick things into our arms and wear things over our faces and all that. I wouldn't cooperate with any of that. And to this day, I haven't been sick from it, and I know a lot of people who cooperated and got quite sick. But I never cooperated, and I didn't get sick. And I know other people who didn't and didn't get sick. So, but the bottom line is this. Peer pressure, when you give in to peer pressure, what it means is you have to give up a certain part of yourself. You have to go, if you're going along with the crowd against your better judgment or against your conscience, then you're in a position where you're going to have to give up on a very important part of yourself, because your conscience is a very important part of yourself. Now, as somebody who believes in God, of course, my belief is that when your conscience is talking to you, it's actually the Holy Spirit. So you're actually giving the Holy Spirit the finger if you ignore that in favor of following the crowd so that people don't be mad at you, or so that you can keep working, or so you can keep going to school, or so that you can, do the things that you should be able to do anyway, really. And I understand, though, people got scared. They were threatened they were going to lose their jobs. They were threatened they were going to not be able to get their education that they paid a lot of money for. They were going to lose all that money. They were told that they weren't going to be allowed to travel. People who lived away from their parents and stuff and other family members were told, well, you'll never see your family again because we won't let you out of the area where you are unless you do all this stuff. And, but the thing is, giving into it is voting for it. That's what that is. Every time you give into it, you vote for it. Prime Minister Trudeau, he used the fact that so many people had taken, the thing in the arm. He used that to justify it, because he said, look, obviously the majority of Canadians believe in it because the majority has taken the thing in the arm. Okay, out of that majority, though, how many people did it under duress? How many people did it because they were afraid of losing their job? Not because they believed in that thing or wanted that thing, but because they were afraid of the punishment that would go with not taking it. So really, that isn't a vote for it, but it's interpreted as a vote for it, if you go along, And it'll be used by the people who want to persecute and oppress and take freedoms from us for that purpose. It'll be used that way. And so they'll use it to justify themselves, to say, well, clearly we were right, because look at the number of people that went along with us. I mean, people who are being marched into a situation at gunpoint don't necessarily agree with that situation. It's people who have the freedom to participate or not, and they participate. that, it's those people that you need to go by to determine whether or not the majority is in favor of something. But when you start lumping the people in who are brought in by force, well, you can't really do that and get an accurate handle on what's going on. Anyway, yeah, I'm seeing a lot of things anyway that are troubling for sure. I do believe we're living in the end times. I do believe that the programmable digital currency and the social credit system that's coming and all that, and all you got to do is, if you look it up, if you don't know what this stuff is, look it up and you'll see it's bad. It's bad. It'll take what freedom we have left away from us. It'll basically make the world into an open-air prison. It's bad. And then if you express a point of view that isn't appreciated by the authorities, well, you won't be allowed to participate in the economy anymore. If you don't get your thing in the arm, or wear the thing over your face, or shove the thing up your nose, if you refuse to do that, you won't be allowed to participate in the economy anymore. And of course, biblically, we know this eventually leads to the mark of the beast, and that leads to death. Now, my personal belief about the mark of the beast is, and again, you can look this up and you'll find out that I'm speaking the truth. I don't think it's going to be a chip. I think it's going to be an intelligent tattoo. And the reason I say that is because the technology to do that has already been invented. And there's an ink that would be used in this tattoo, and the ink is actually called luciferase. Well, you break that down and you've got Lucifer's race. Lucifer's people. It's not hard to figure out, They don't hide things from us as much as we tend to think they do. They're pretty open about what they're doing. And the thing is, if you get that tattoo, that'll be an intelligent tattoo. As strange as that sounds, this isn't going to be your typical tattoo of a rose, or with the word mom, or some important date in your life, or whatever. You see some woman with the date her children were born tattooed on her body, or whatever. That isn't what this is. That isn't what this is. This will be intelligent ink. As strange as it sounds, that is now a thing. And I believe that's what it'll be. Now, I may be wrong. Maybe it'll be something completely different than that. That's just my personal belief, is that that's what it'll be. It'll be a tattoo using this intelligent luciferase ink. Anyway, bottom line is, if you take it, you're done. Can't take it. Even if it means dying, you can't take it, because if you take it, you're done for eternity. If you die in this world, you lose a few years. All of us are going to die in this world sooner or later. Every day I live, I get closer to the grave. I don't know just when it's going to happen, but I know it is going to happen. And the thing is, that's true for all of us. It's just some of us are closer to it than others, that's all. I'm closer to it than a lot of people, and I'm further away from it than a lot of people too, I'm sure. But, any one of us could go anytime, of course. But the thing is, life in this world is temporary. It's the life to come that we need to worry about. And we've all got things in our lives that are stumbling blocks for us and that we need to overcome. Or at least make the effort to overcome. Pardon me with my snorting and sniffling here. We need to make the effort to overcome them anyway. But the thing is, myself included. But here's the thing. Pretty well everything is forgivable. We take it to the Lord who forgive us. But the thing is, taking that mark, it's made very clear in the Bible that taking that mark, you can't ever go back from that. There's no way to undo that once you've done it. And the thing is, it'll change who you are. You will be part of Lucifer's race once you take that mark. Even if I'm wrong about this Lucifer Race Inc. being the mark, even if I'm wrong about that, even if it's something totally different that I know nothing about or that I wouldn't think of, or even if it's a chip like a lot of people think it is, and it may very well be a chip, but even if I'm wrong about it being Lucifer Race Inc., you take that, you become part of Lucifer's race. It will change who you are. It will. It'll change who you are. You won't be one of God's children anymore, and God won't recognize you as such. And so it's a terrible thing. It's a terrible thing. And I grieve for people who take this thing. And the thing is, if people were so afraid of losing their jobs or not being allowed to travel or not being allowed to go to school that they took something they didn't want, that's a pretty good indication of how many people are going to be bullied into taking the mark, whether they want it or not. And the thing is, it's just sad, that's all. I mean, I don't know, I feel bad about it. But here's the thing, we're going to need God to give us strength because it's going to be horrific. They're not going to be threatening us that we're not going to be allowed to get on an airplane or continue working at our jobs anymore. Right now, this past thing, basically it was, you're not going to be allowed to participate in society. You're going to be condemned to a life of poverty and social isolation if you don't take this thing that we're ordering you to take, or that we're telling you to take, or suggesting you take, or strongly suggesting, or whatever. But the thing is, that's not going to be what it is next time. If people gave in with those kinds of threats, next time it's going to be, we'll cut your head off. We'll kill you. Either take it or we'll cut your head off. That's what it's going to be. And so, the only way to stand in the face of something like that, what a terrifying thing, Imagine they stand you in front of a guillotine, and they say, look, you got two choices. You take the marker, we load you into that guillotine, we bring the blade down, we cut your head off. What's it going to be? Tell us now. There's no time to lose here. You tell us right now what it's going to be. They put you in that position. We're going to need the Lord to strengthen us and to fortify us when we're faced with that. And, we need to start thinking about that now and doing our best to get right with Him now. And that's all of us, including me. Because I got things in my life I need to work on. And if you stop and analyze your life, you'll see you've got things too. It'd be different maybe than the things I've got to work on, but still, they're there, and you need to work on them. Anyway, that's it. Look to the Lord. Don't look to scientists and politicians and environmentalists and economists and all those people, because half of them don't know what they're talking about, because